Hey guys, and welcome! Today I want to highlight some secret changes that were made with the latest update in Battlefield 2042 and that were either not mentioned in the patch notes at all or don't stick out much, so they might have slipped under your radar. This video is a bit shorter than usual, but these changes are still worth knowing and I hope that you nevertheless find them interesting and helpful. And if you haven't done already, make sure to check out my previous video where I already covered all of the major changes of the update and explained how they work. But now let's check out the stealth changes. First up, there is the K30 SMG that has a noticeable difference in its recoil pattern since the update. Shooting it in sustained fire causes the weapon to move significantly to the left rather than the expected upwards movement it had before, so the horizontal recoil has massively increased, making the weapon a lot harder to control. But good news here, at least somewhat good, because this behavior is unintentional and DICE has already acknowledged this on Twitter, or X how it's called now. And they've said that a fix is on the way, possibly with the next quality of life patch in about 2 weeks. Until then, however, you have to live with the strange recoil pattern the K30 has now and have to adapt to it if you want to use the weapon. What I can recommend to do is to equip the MCOM tactical muzzle brake, because it helps to control the horizontal recoil, which makes the weapon a bit easier to control, and in addition use one of the laser sights or the LWG grip for a little extra accuracy. If this still doesn't make the K30 manageable for you, just avoid it until the unintended recoil pattern was fixed and switch to a different SMG like the P90 or the PP2000 in the meantime. Moving on to the intentional changes now, there was a new XP event added to reward all players who used the Soflam or Tracer Dart and keep designating enemy vehicles for their team. Because when using these gadgets, you will now earn extra XP through so-called Designation Assists. When one of your designated vehicles gets destroyed, you'll receive 10 XP, and Soflam users also receive additional XP for spotting and spotting assists. This not only benefits your own XP gains, but also helps your team in controlling the enemy vehicle count. A very nice addition for all players using these gadgets and another little reward for the ones focused on team play. But update 5.2 has also brought a significant tweak to protect enemy vehicles, because beyond 50 meters you're not able to see the distance to the target or any other details anymore when you spot the vehicle. Before the update you were able to see the exact distance and the health of the target, but this is only possible within 50 meters now. And that's the same for infantry. When you spot an enemy that is more than 50 meters away, you will only see the class icon above their head, but nothing else. The full details like distance and player tag are only visible up to 50 meters. And while this change might not affect the combat between infantry much, it definitely makes it harder to counter vehicles, especially on range. What makes it even worse is that they also removed the ability to directly ping a target with this little red marker, because this one only works in the environment and on objects now. When you point your crosshair directly at an enemy or vehicle and double tap the spotting button, you will only normally spot them, but you cannot ping them anymore in addition to this. You have to point your crosshair at the ground or an object in order to place a marker and see the exact distance. And that's also the best way to measure the range to vehicles now. It's not as fast as before and not as accurate, but it works pretty well. In addition to this, you can also use the built-in rangefinder of the Recoilless M5 when you're using this launcher, because when not aiming down sights with it and simply pointing the middle dot of the crosshair at the target, you can see the exact distance to the vehicle in the top right corner of the display. Then simply aim down sights and adjust the lines within the optic to the range you have measured, which is only 100 meters in my case, so I used reticle at 1 and then pull the trigger. Not as easy as it was before, but still a good way to do it. A lot less game-changing is the next tweak, because the health bar that gets shown when you are in close proximity to an enemy now has a little highlight effect when you land a shot. This gives a better visibility and makes it slightly easier to judge the damage you have dealt. Additionally, the thermal optics also cause a faint yellow glow around the red dot of spotted enemies now, which makes the marker a little bit easier to see. Next up, there are good news for those of you who like a clean player card style, because you can now remove equipped badges. Just head over to the player card editor, select the badge you want to remove from the list, and then use the right mouse button on PC, X on Xbox or Square on PlayStation to get rid of it. It's only a small change, but still a nice quality of life improvement that allows you to further customize your card's appearance. Moving on to the game mode Rush, there was a small tweak made to the experience of attackers and defenders, because attackers should no longer be able to see an icon when defenders are defusing an MCOM, and the other way around, defenders should not be able to see when attackers are arming an MCOM. This change aims to promote more objective awareness instead of reliance on icons, but it doesn't seem to work exactly how it was described in the patch notes. Because even though defenders can indeed not see that attackers are planting a bomb anymore, the attackers still get an icon when the bomb gets defused. The only thing that was changed is the icon itself, because that's not the pliers anymore. Instead, it shows a color change of the bomb icon itself from blue to red. So the attackers can still see that there are actions taken by the defenders. What did not change at all are the icons for your own team, because you can still see when one of your teammates is planting or defusing a bomb. The flow of the mode itself did also not change much, only that it's a little less readable when actions are taken at the MCOMs now. And lastly, there are a few smaller improvements. First of all, after a round, when you have unlocked new attachments, you can now see which attachment will be replaced if you equip the new one straight from the end of round screen, which is another nice quality of life feature. Then the M39 EMR has a moving bolt during an empty reload now for more realism. And if you were wondering why our Robot Dog Ranger is not available on Hourglass Conquest, it's not intended, it's an issue, and it will be fixed in the future. And one last point I just want to quickly squeeze in is that DICE is also aware of connection issues that many players are currently experiencing with specific internet service providers such as AT&T. They're working with stakeholders to resolve this issue as soon as possible, but for now you will keep encountering these issues. And that's it for today, just a quick rundown of some hidden changes in update 5.2 of Battlefield 2042. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.